Breaking news here on CBS Sports HQ. The Washington Nationals are World Series champs. Game 7 in Houston, where home field advantage wasn't really an advantage in this World Series. The road team winning all 7 games of the World Series. First time in World Series history where the home team did not win a game. The Nationals stayed in the fight and finally delivered the knockout punch, winning their first ever World Series title. Let's show you how it all went down in Houston. And what a series this has been. Road teams have won 3 straight World Series Game 7s. The Astros were the last team to do it, winning Game 7 on the road against the Dodgers in 2017. Looking to take it back, Zack Greinke against Max Scherzer, 2 Cy Young Award winners matching up. Greinke, they got him at the trade deadline for this reason. Max Scherzer got a cortisone shot in his neck. He had spasms so severe he couldn't even lift his arm. Astros draw first blood, Yuli Gurriel into left, and the Astros have a 1-0 lead. Teams that score first, 25-14 in winner-take-all World Series games. Top 3, Greinke just dealing. Effective, efficient, soft ground ball. That's what he got through the first 6 innings. He got soft contact. 6 shutout innings, giving up just 1 hit. Greinke, 5-time Gold Glover. He had 5 assists in this game, most by a World Series pitcher since Greg Maddux in 1996. Home half of the 5th. Runners on first and second for Carlos Correa. Down the third baseline, off the glove of Anthony Rendon. That plate's a run, and the Astros take a 2-0 lead. And at that point, you're like, wow, 2 runs in this game, huge. Scherzer, 5 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned, 3 strikeouts. He is done. Top 7, here come the Nats. Here comes Anthony Rendon. Greinke still out there, mowing him down, but not here. Anthony Rendon, who doesn't care whether he goes 1 for 20 or 4 for 5 at any point in his career. Nationals make it a 1-run game. Greinke out after he walks the next batter. 6 1/3, 2 hits, 3 strikeouts. Will Harris comes in, not Garrett Cole, to face NLCS MVP Howie Kendrick. How you doing? Howie Kendrick, ding dong, off the foul pole. Give me some Chick-fil-A. I'll take a grilled chicken. Nats take a 3-2 lead. We are in the driver's seat. Kendrick, 6th player in World Series history to go-ahead home run in the 7th inning or later of Game 7. Juan Soto talking to Robinson Chirinos there. You're not going to get a pitch by me. You are not going to get a pitch by me. And they do not. Rips one into right. That plate's a run, an insurance run. 4-2. Juan Soto. In case you missed it, he's 21 years old. 13 RBIs. Most in the postseason by a player before turning 22. Final out, Daniel Hudson gets Michael Brantley swinging to end it, and the Washington Nationals are World Series champ. They stay in the fight. They finish the fight. And the road team wins again, winning all 7 games of the 2019 World Series. Adam Eaton added a 2-run single in the 9th, and the Nationals win Game 7, 6-2. The Washington Nationals were 19-31 at the end of May. They went on a run and posted the best record in baseball. They won 9 straight at one point in the postseason. And they come back to win a World Series. You want to talk about the storylines for this Washington Nationals team. It is incredible. An underdog story. 6-2. They lose Bryce Harper in the offseason. Don't want to pay him to get Patrick Corbin. What's he do? Comes in, shuts down the Astros after Max Scherzer comes in. And now the Nationals in this postseason, 10-0, when Steven Strasburg or Max Scherzer starts a game. The most important game, the last one, as they win Game 7 and win their first ever World Series title. Jay Hinch saying all the right things there, gave a lot of credit to the Washington Nationals, and Will Middlebrooks joins me now, 2013 World Series champ with the Boston Red Sox. Will, before we dive into this series and before we dive into what the Nationals just accomplished, how would you grade how A.J. Hinch managed in this Game 7 specifically?
Yeah, he's pushed so many right buttons all year that it's hard to question him. My thing is, Greinke was just absolutely on tonight. They show you the strike zone, the square, the rectangle, whatever you call it, on the screen, and he's just putting him on the up, down, in, out, right on the line. He was living on the edge all night. He didn't throw much over the middle. The one mistake, the change up to Rendon that was middle, the Nationals took advantage of. But he was on, and this is a future Hall of Famer. Leave him in the game. He's at 80 pitches. I understand your bullpen's gotten you to that point. Will Harris has been great. I completely understand that move because he's been great all year. But it's easy for me to say when I'm sitting on the couch watching the game, but I got to leave Greinke in.
Yeah, the one I'm questioning here is going to Will Harris, because if I had told you before this game that the Astros would lose and we would not see Garrett Cole in a Game 7, what would you have said?
I'd be surprised. But like Hinch said, if we're ahead, he's in the game. And I believe that. I do. That's why he got up at certain situations earlier in the game, and then it just didn't line up right. You're not going to bring him in when you're losing. You're not. You're going to go with your regular bullpen guys, shutdown guys. So I think that was the right move.
But even in a 2-1 game, you wouldn't have brought him in when they still had the lead.
See, now you're putting me in a weird spot. I'm just kidding. Look. My thing is AJ Hinch. This has been the best team in baseball this year. And they've been the best team in baseball by the moves that A.J. Hinch has made, going to those guys in the bullpen. Garrett Cole's never pitched out of the bullpen. He's never pitched on short rest. So I'm going to stick with my guys that got me to this point.
Yeah, you're going to second-guess A.J. Hinch all offseason in terms of the critics on A.J. Hinch. But you're right. He got him there, but this was a super talented team. And the Washington Nationals, an incredible story here, Will. I mean, we've talked about it. We've documented it. 19-31 at the end of May. They have this run with the best record in baseball, end of regular season. They go on this streak, 9 straight in the postseason, and then they finish it off with a World Series title. I mean, the unlikely of this story, it's incredible to see what Washington did from May until now.
Oh, absolutely. You look at them, like you said, 19-31. Everyone's writing them off. They get to the trade deadline. They don't make any moves. Everyone's going, what are you doing? How are you not trading guys and getting prospects? And then they get hot and hotter and hotter. And now we look, they're in a wild card game. They won't last, right? Well, here they are playing the Dodgers. They beat the Dodgers. It's just crazy. And then, of course, tonight they come from behind and win. It was just meant to be. Everyone's been saying it's just fate. It's just their season, and it really has just shown to be the case.
Yeah, put that in perspective, because the run that they had and now that they finished, because you go back to the wild card game, if Christian Yelich is in right field, I don't even know if they get out of the wild card game, Will.
No, you're absolutely right. They gotten all the right breaks, but at the same time they took advantage of it, and guys stepped up and played really well. They pitched well, they hit well. They have a 21, stepping up huge for them. And then they have a 36-year-old and Howie Kendrick coming up with the big homers against the Dodgers and then today in the World Series. So they're getting it from top to bottom in their lineup, top to bottom in their rotation. And the bullpen really stepped up, because this is a bullpen that was not very good. They had a worse bullpen ERA than the Baltimore Orioles this year. They stepped it up in the playoffs and did well.
I mean, when we sit here and we document all the storylines, right? Ryan Zimmerman, Washington's first draft pick. He lasted through 2 GMs, 7 managers, 2 different ballparks. They went from RFK to Nats Park. All of this losing. They lose Bryce Harper. Dave Martinez has heart surgery, comes back. This is a guy that nearly lost his job. They stick with Dave Martinez. Daniel Hudson misses game 1 of the NLCS to be at the birth of his daughter. He comes back in the World Series, gets the final out of the World Series. I mean, this story is just so it's incredible to think about all the storylines for Washington. And when you put it into perspective, what does it mean about this World Series for Washington to do all of that?
Oh, I mean, it means from day one in spring training, you sit down in the clubhouse, you have a huge team meeting, your manager talks, your coaches speak, your team leaders speak, and it's all about building a family and pulling on the same rope, whatever cliche you want to go with. And the end goal for every team is to look up at the end of the year and you win the World Series. But how often does that really happen for you? So for this team to go through all that, if they have a chance in a week or so, when they can really look back and rehash the whole season, those meetings come up and they come to mind in spring training when you're sitting around saying, man, we got a good team, maybe we got a shot, let's really stick together, let's play well together. And here they are, World Series champions. This is unbelievable.
And you want to talk about redemption. Steven Strasburg shut down in 2012. Mike Rizzo famously said, we'll be back. They never got out of the NLDS. And here, Steven Strasburg wins the World Series MVP, 2-0 in this World Series, 6-0 this postseason with a 1.98 ERA. First pitcher in MLB history to go 5-0 or better in a single postseason, and he earns World Series MVP. Well-deserved, Will, for Steven Strasburg, who will become a free agent if he chooses so after the season's over.
Oh, so well deserved. This guy has been through the ups and downs. He's had so many injuries, and so many people write him off, and so many people calling him soft. He can't pitch in big games. He's just hurt when he's in big situations. No, this guy had real injuries. This is a guy that throws 100. That's unnatural. Your body's not used to it. Your body can't do that for a prolonged period of time. You're going to have injuries. And he battled back and battled and battled, and here we are. This is so cool to see him as an MVP of the World Series because he truly deserves it.
What an incredible ride. I mean, he was the Nationals' first overall pick in 2009, and it's incredible to see what he's done. It's incredible to see how the Washington Nationals have finished off this World Series. What else is crazy, Will, is the fact that the road team won every game in this series, something we've never seen before. I don't think we're ever going to see it again in our lifetime. What do you take away from that the road team wins every game, especially going against the Astros, who had the best home record in baseball? They won 60 games at Minute Maid Park.
I don't have much to say about that. I don't know how to explain it. All I can say is it's really hard to predict baseball. And I think, especially in the postseason, the regular season is one thing, but the postseason, you cannot predict it. I think we can all attest to that at this point in the year. No one thought the Nationals would even be here. So who's going to say, okay, you're going to win the World Series after squeaking into the playoffs, and you're not going to win a home game. You're going to win all the road games in Houston, and you're going to win the World Series. No one would have believed that. That's insane.
What a story for the Washington Nationals, winning their first ever World Series title. Will Middlebrooks here, all with us on CBS Sports HQ. Much more